Hey guys, what's up? Doing a quick video here on Little Red. I got some kind of windy, got some people doing yard work and stuff, but hopefully you can hear this. If not, I'll just talk over it. So this is kind of a overview of how I built this little guy. I started with three Honda QA50s. I got them all off eBay, got them shipped. Thought I was gonna just do them basically stock, just rebuild the motors or get the motors running, whatever. My plan was to basically make two from the three, which that's what I did. I ended up with two of them, but the plan didn't really go how I thought because all the motors I got were blown. All of them were bad. And I started looking at rebuilding them and the rebuild kits and everything. And they're $100 for the rebuild kits, and you know, and I started thinking, well, these all three motors are bad on this. Like, why would I rebuild a motor that's bad? So I decided to go with the Harbor Freight 79cc motor, and it fits. If I almost went with the 212. I went to 212. I don't know if I would have got it to fit. And you can see, obviously, I had to take the fuel tank off, had to do the fuel filter, or I'm sorry, air filter differently. But I tried to keep it so I could put the stock motor back on there if I wanted to. And you can see I just basically took some like threaded rod there and just bent it to the stock locations. And I just built these super fast and quick just to ride. I mean, they are what they are. They're fun. They work. You can see my other videos. But then, yeah, you can see how I just took like, I think that's 1/2 inch conduit and just basically made a mount there to get the motor on. And I mean, it works really good. Oh, that's the stock plate. I don't know if we can see it. It's kind of bright out here, hard to see, but that's the plate that came with it. I used that to mount it, and it's basically just hanging there. It moves a little bit, could be a little more sturdy, but hey, it works. That's all that counts. Let's see what else we got. Air filter. So took the stock one off. It was in the way, it wouldn't fit. I had to this one I modified the choke too, you can see. So, because it was sticking up high and like basically hitting this. So for the filter, I tried using pods, couldn't get them to stay on. Kept hitting it on my leg, falling off, losing on the side of the road, all that stuff. So I basically just came up with this. These are the bolts. I extended the bolts out, took some air filter foam, and then I just made this piece out of aluminum and just holds it on. It works. Keeps the crap out and flows pretty good. Let's see what else do we got. I mean, that's the tank. I had to clean that. That's the seat came on this one. Brakes are stock. I forget how I came up with the tires. I don't know. I had 3 of these and I just kind of took parts and moved them around until I came up with 2 complete bikes. Let's see what else we got. Torque converters. You see, that's a torque converter for a 3/4 shaft engine, because I couldn't really find one for a 5/8 shaft. So I had to do some modifications to make that 3/4 inch shaft torque converter work. I'll have to do another video on that itself, because it was pretty complicated what I had to do, but it works. I did have a centrifugal clutch on there, which I could find those for a 5/8 shaft, but it was garbage with that. It was so slow. It barely even moved. Barely even went like 10, 15. Now this thing will do 30 with the torque converter. So it was a big improvement. You can see the exhaust. I just took the stock pipe, cut it, welded it. it broke off like 3 times, so I had to keep moving it around, and that's why it looks like that. And that's just like a lawnmower muffler that came on one of the QAs that I got, so I used that. I think that's just 3/4 inch conduit as the exhaust pipe. The throttle, I had to kind of custom do that. I don't know if you can see it right there, but that's just the stock cable cut, and then I wrapped it on there and zip tied it. I had to do some mods on this, a spring, so it springs back and stuff. I pretty much stripped everything down except for the motor to get this thing on here. What else do we got? Lights. Yeah, so I got this thing rigged up with some LED lights. You can see that's just like a fog light. I bought a 2-pack of fog lights that go on cars, and made them work for the mini bikes. They were on sale for like $15 with like a switch and everything at Advanced Auto, and bright too. And then I got, on this one, I got LEDs on the back. You see that? But it's just an LED strip, but it's zip tied on the back there. That was on sale too. It was like, I ended up getting like 2 LED strips for like $8 or something in advance. That's how that came about. But you can see battery is how they're powered, not powered by the motor. So I had an old Ryobi, I think I made that one out of the flashlight. I made one out of a drill, one out of a flashlight. Can't sure if you can see that up there, but either way, I just basically cut the top off it off, and it's just the battery lock-in part. And you just take the battery and clip it in. I'll show you how it works. I'll go grab a battery real quick. All right, so got the battery, and just clips in like that, and then we just turn the power on, and you can't see it during the day, really. I don't know. Can you see that? You can see that one's on the LED. I'll do it. I'll do a night shot here so that you can see that, but I'll do a night shot too so you can really see it. All right, guys. So here's the other one. It's very, very similar to the red one. We just have a few different modifications. The engine's the same, torque converter is the same, and you know, it just made sense with these engines to buy a brand new one off the shelf running versus trying to rebuild an old one. It just, money-wise, it just made sense. But anyway, the overall premise of these is exactly the same. Came from, I took 3 bikes, you know, made 2 with all the parts together. This one does have bigger tires, obviously, as you can see, off of Z50, because I broke the rim on this back wheel because it was shot. I was trying to replace the rim and I broke it, which is common because they're like cast aluminum or something, I don't know, whatever. It's like pot metal, so it just broke. So trying to find a replacement was not easy. I mean, I could find them on eBay and stuff like that, but it was just easier to get these Z50 rims and tires ready to go, and they slapped right on. And I mean, it looks good. Like, it definitely looks better. It's taller, it's easier to ride, but the speed is different. This has same air filter setup as the other one. Basically just a filter foam, you know, bolted on the front. I was able to make the stock choke work on that one. This one does have a fender in the front and back. This one's got completely custom seat, zip tied, Mexican blanket zip tied, because that seat was really uncomfortable. I had to get something on there. My ass was getting numb riding this thing. What else do we got? I mean, oh, that's something else. I couldn't find a good spot to put the foot pegs, so I just took the stock ones, bolted them on the back here, and just tack welded it right there. It works, because I didn't really have too many options. Not the ideal foot placement, but it does work. I mean, you can even put your foot right up here when you're riding. It's not a big deal. Let's see what we got over here. Same torque converter as the other one. Yeah, I mean, the throttle's set up the same. Same kind of engine mounting with the conduit here. Oh, on this one, I ended up buying, because I was just using what I had laying around to build these things, but I ran out of, the other one had the threaded rod for the engine supports. I actually ended up buying this what is that, 5/8? I don't know, 3/4, just round stock. I ended up buying a bar of that for this one. You can see it, and it ended up being, this one's a lot more rigid. The same engine plate. I really don't know if you can see that or not, but whatever. Yeah, same engine plate. It's just that stock, and it's a lot stiffer. The exhaust is different. Just welded this guy on here. In my other video, I had a different setup, but I just welded that on. That's the pipe that came with it, going into 3/4 inch conduit, and then I think it's going into the spark plug socket that came with the Predator motor. I ended up welding that on the end, and then I got it going into 1-inch conduit into this muffler. It looks pretty cool. What else we got? Oh, this one has a different light setup. Got the LEDs on the fender on this one, and then I got the front headlight too. And I'll insert a video of the lights on this one.